I just want to show everybody what I can do and like give back to the community and show everybody what I can do in Tri-C
That's right.
and expand myself to become a better me.
It's the first day, and I'm really excited just because there's so much potential to have a very positive impact on our community. Engaging businesses with students, I think it's just going to be a very great experience for all of us.
I'm excited to learn more about business. I'm mainly focused on nursing, so I'm excited to make this project come to life.
I want to make, new friends. So far I'm making a lot of new friends right now, and I want to bring this project to fruition through our synergy.
Welcome to the 2019 CLE3 Institute. CLE3, the 3 stands for purpose, prosperity, and passion, right? And you could hear some of the passion, right, in that video, and I think you'll hear more of that passion this morning. I just want to welcome, of course, all of the students and the guests, and especially our clients who are here to see what the students and the faculty have done over the course of this week. But I just want to ask a couple of quick questions, especially to the students. So for the students, was this week what you expected? No, right? It was surprising, right? Maybe more intense than you expected, right? Maybe even more fun than you expected. But certainly, it was, right, a week of discovery, and that was part of the point of it, right, to discover most especially the central idea of CLE3, which is that students can do valuable work now, right, with support from their faculty and from experts in our community. Right, you can do valuable work today, not someday, not eventually, but right now, right? And this is our opportunity to see the value of that work. Now, I just want to set a little bit of expectations for our clients and our guests and our visitors. Remember, these students haven't taken any classes, right? They're brand new to college, and yet, over the course of the week, they've been able to tackle really complex problems, right, and begin to offer solutions that we think our clients will be able to use. So with that, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Professor David Bernadowitz, our professor of history, his project. David?
Good morning. For the past week, these students that you see standing in front of you have spent time in the University Archives at Case Western Reserve University sifting through hundreds of documents, all relating to Cleveland College, which was affiliated with Case Western Reserve University. Through the involvement of our client, Dr. Kurt Koenigsberg, professor at Case Western Reserve University, we created a project whose overall goal was to develop profiles of students from the years 1925 to 1973. Before we begin this journey that they have created, we first have to tell you about Cleveland College. Cleveland College was the vision of many Cleveland leaders at the end of World War I. One of those was Newton D. Baker. The vision and creation, it was the vision to create a downtown campus to create educational programs for the urban masses. As the Board of Trustees stated in 1925, the board's creation was to be an educational center where students of all ages and backgrounds could study, provide only that they had a real desire to learn. And the founders' philosophy of education was a process that continued throughout life, rather than a course of study terminated by a degree. The education they envisioned would be fueled by the enthusiasm of adult minds in the quest of intellectual growth, a process that would continue through life for everyone. Men and women would be encouraged to study, if not for a degree, then surely for the satisfaction of cultural, vocational, civic, or recreational needs. Now that we're going to begin a journey, please sit back and listen to a story of a part of Cleveland history which very few people know about. I'd like to bring forward Emily Scott and Joshua Rockamore, who will be talking about the decades 1925 to 1934.
Welcome everyone to the 1920s and 30s and early 30s of Cleveland College, the age where the college started and enrollment boomed. But who were the students? The students who attended Cleveland College were much like the students who attend Cuyahoga Community College today. They balanced their jobs, family lives, participated in clubs and activities, and enrolled in many of the same classes we take today. First, we'll be talking about the professions that the students who attended Cleveland College held. These professions included jobs that required prior schooling, such as school principals, superintendents, and presidents and CEOs of local companies. These jobs also included non-professional jobs, such as homemakers, secretaries, cashiers, salesmen, stockmen, etc. Even though many students of Cleveland College were working adults who had family jobs and family commitments, they were still able to participate in clubs and extracurricular activities. In 1929, the activities available to these students comprised of a writers' club, choral club, athletic club, French club, drama club, and the 30s Club. The 30s Club specifically was the first club organized at Cleveland College and exists to promote scholastic and social affairs. There were also fraternities available to the students, such as Lambda Alpha Sigma, Kappa Kappa Phi, and Sigma Tau Delta.
As enrollment grew at Cleveland College, so did the courses that were available to students. By 1930, the college had 500 courses and 700 classes available to students, covering a wide variety of career paths. These courses included subjects such as investment, engineering, business, poetry, literature, foreign languages, debate, philosophy, and many more, as well as other classes such as ones on parental education, cooking, and clothing selection. Okay. Finally, we'll be covering some of the interesting facts that we discovered while doing our research on Cleveland College. In 1926, the tuition was just $10 per credit hour, and in that year, there were 2,058 students enrolled. Since Cleveland College was designed as an educational environment for working adults, many of the classes offered were during the evening, which were offered from 5:30 to 9:30. These and allowed people to work and take care of their families while also going to school. And now introducing Cameron Smith, who will be talking on the mid-1930s to early 40s.
Hello, my name is Cameron Smith, and I'm doing the late 30s and early 40s. So I'm going to start off with who the students were. They were working class students. They had various professions, from millinery to stenographers to cameramen to what have you. They either had jobs, were in between them, or they lacked qualifications, so they were trying to move their way up in the industry, go up that ladder. They were of all different ages. There were students as young as 16, which is not an adult. You didn't have to even have a complete high school education to get in to Cleveland College at the time. And there were students as old as 70. There were students of all different beliefs, although primarily Christian denominations. However, that was in its own way a sort of diversity at the time, because various factions of these of Christianity didn't necessarily get along quite the way they do today. Presbyterians, say, wouldn't necessarily associate regularly with, say, a Methodist. And as for gender, it was a little bit more male than female in the 30s, and that changed when the war started in the 40s, where there were more females because the males were going off to the war, that being World War II. And students were primarily from the United States, with about 3,700 or 3,800, I believe, in 1938, and there were a few hundred students from other places. They had various activities that you do today. They had some things that you haven't seen, like camera club, or they have clubs that we have today, like math club, or drama, or another club that you wouldn't necessarily see today is the Social Problems Club, or many of the clubs that Rockmore listed that had various Latin names, because Latin was more of a required course around that time. It was often taken. They had help in various ways. They had financial aid in the form of some scant few scholarships they could apply to. They had loans that they could take out directly from the university, not from a bank, different from how you do it today. They had a how to study course, which was essentially, like what you would have with tutoring. They had counselors, and they had a career placement office, actually, which helped them use their skills that they developed in their classes to get into a job. And they had advertisements in the school papers. Like, I saw one advertisement that said that it was 7 cents per paper that was typed up by a stenographer. And that does it for me. This is Melvin Wilson and Louise Mercado, and they are doing the late 40s and early 50s.
So, Cleveland College moved from a downtown college into University Circle in 1953. They started television courses in the 1950s, 1951, where they did a telecourse series with WEWS for 5 years, and 23 university credit courses were televised. There was a graduation fee of $10 that they had to pay before they were expecting their diploma. 1948 and 1949, to be eligible for a degree, a student that was admitted to advanced standing must have had 30 hours completed at Case Western, and 15 hours had to be completed at Cleveland College. In 1945, 1949, the oldest graduate was 67 years old, the youngest was 21, and the average age of graduation was 28. Religious affiliations, there was 8 Catholics, 31 Protestants, and 11 Jewish. They graduated 56 students in 1945, 21 in September, 12 in February, and 23 in June. Social clubs and social organizations, they included biology club, English club, philosophy club, and Sigma Tau Delta. And the social organizations include the placements office, student activities service, health service, and veterans program. The placement office was an office that attempted to secure suitable and adequate employment for students at Cleveland College. As you can see, in 1945, 1946, the student enrollment was pretty low. This was due to the cause of World War II. And afterwards, the students started to come back in. In 1950, the student enrollment started to drop because of the Korean War.
Hello, my name is Luis Mercado, and I will be discussing student culture changes between 1945 to 1954. On the top left and right are two pictures of examples of clothing from 1935 to 1953. In 1935, the Great Depression was set in, and clothing became very tight, dark-colored, and overall not very spirited. In 1953, however, a drastic change occurred in which clothing became much looser, brighter in color, and it was much more passionate. On the bottom left, you can see two clippings from college life papers. Two veterans from World War II who were a part of the college campus before they went into World War II. The first one is Lieutenant Joseph E. Syringer, liberated from a POW camp in Poland in 1945, my bad. And the second one is Lieutenant Dudley E. Winkler, who was killed in action over Germany in 1944 as a bombardier in the B-17 Flying Fortress. In the middle is a 1947 yearbook, which is very dark in color in 1947, possibly due to the war and its very dark nature. In 1950, this would change into something much more brighter, something bolder, and something that would essentially encourage happiness while on campus. In the bottom right is a clipping from 1946 of students protesting about prejudice and racism on college campus. And an example of this would be in the college yearbooks. In the 1940s, there were more black students than there were in the 1950s. So there was a decrease as the years went by. And the political pie, as it says in the picture, is about students going to a meeting about the Soviet Union to discuss its importance and its overall threat to the United States. As in 1946, the Soviet Union had acquired its first nuclear bomb. And I will now introduce Marion Rubin, who is going to be doing the period from 1955 to 1964.
So hello everyone, how y'all doing? Everybody doing all right? All right. But before I proceed to my presentation, I would like to tell you about these pictures on here. So in the left-hand corner, that is Kansman, Ohio, down the street from Woodland. And on the right-hand corner, that is where they made tanks. That is now the IX Center. This was all in the 1950s. And in the left bottom, that is downtown in the 1950s. And on the right, that is a streetcar. That's how everybody used to go to work from, how they used to go to work and home back in the 1950s. I just wanted to tell you all that. So, okay. So these are the students' characteristics that I was going to give y'all. There were many students from all across the world who were attending the Cleveland College, various of ages from 16 to 73. Yes, there were 16-year-olds going to this college at the time. And there were approximately 4,900 students total at the school. And out of those 4,900 students, 84% of them already had jobs and employed. They already had jobs like manufacturing, trade, electrical jobs, and jobs like that. courses. So, I mean, there are courses that like government, philosophy, creative writing, courses that we still take today. But the one course that stuck out to me the most that I just can't forget is, if I'm gonna ask, anybody ever heard of square dancing? Yeah, y'all heard of square dancing? I did research on this, and I still don't know what square dancing is. Like when I first read it, when I was reading it, it lost me. Like I don't know what square dancing is. I'm sorry. I can't tell y'all nothing about square dancing. I don't know. But that stuck out to me the most. And they had living room learning. You can still be part of the college in your living room, and you can still do all the work and still talk to the professors and go to the school and talk to your professors. Oh, so without further ado, I would like to pass the podium to Jackie Brown, and she's going to tell you about the 1964 to 1973.
Hi, I am Jacqueline Brown. I'm here to tell you about Cleveland College, 1964 to 1973. Okay. The students of Cleveland College took courses of French, English, sociology, biology, and literary studies. The students were of various ages and races and background. Race was not documented. The sports they played were football, basketball, golf, fencing. They had student council, social clubs, dances, and literary clubs. The support they received was counseling. The students were of the working class, so they attended school at various times to manage work and school. In 1965 at Cleveland College, 50 men and women graduated with geriatric degrees. In 1969, the president of Cleveland College, along with 74 other college presidents, wrote Nixon a letter to end the war. We were in the era of urban development, the Vietnam War, and that's it. Now, introducing Christina Fabla. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. You've all heard so much about the Cleveland College like you would never have known until you sat in this hall this morning. From its inception in 1925 till the time it was incorporated into the Western Reserve University, there are some pertinent notes to highlight. There was a high influx of students of various nationalities, most of whom were working adults in various professions who wished to pursue a short course, a distant learning education on a part-time basis, or towards earning their degrees. This population of students, however, declined during the World War II, during the Korean War, and towards the end of the college years in 1973 when it was incorporated into the Western Reserve University. Also, student courses took a different change over the decades as courses grew from basic courses into more advanced ones over the decades. Also, student participation in various professional fraternities, social clubs, and activities increased during the decades. It is pertinent to note that many of these professional fraternities still exist today, like the Phi Theta Kappa of the Tri-C that we have today. Also, over the decades, student identity and awareness became increased, especially around 1940s, when students began to protest and participate in peaceful demonstrations to decide and stand against every form of racism, prejudice, and everything they believed were wrong. Also, students of Cleveland College received various supports from financial aids to counseling and even career placements, like we still do today in Tri-C. Students of Cleveland College also faced various challenges, especially when they moved their campus from the downtown college to the Western Reserve University. There were lots of issues which we found in the archive of students writing to the college administration for more implementation and incorporation of students from the Cleveland College with students over at the Case Western Reserve University. On this note, I would like to introduce Professor David Benantowitz to wrap up this amazing journey of a week. Thank you.
Like every journey, one is left when they come back with more questions. More questions need to be dealt with. For example, could Tri-C be considered the modern-day Cleveland College? That is a journey which is going to happen in the future, which requires more research. I'd now like to call up my partners in crime, Professor Kim Lenahan, David Milnick, and Professor Vincent Holland to hand out the certificates. Without these three people helping me, this thing would have never gotten off the ground, by the way. Marianne Rubin, Cameron Smith, let me take a picture. Christina Favola, Emily Scott, Jacqueline Brown. Yeah, 1960s. By the way, that wasn't my choice for the song. My choice for the 1960s was White Rabbit, but I didn't get away with it. Joshua Rockamore, Luis Mercado, Melvin Wilson. I'd like to now call up the Health Career Group for their report.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Deshae Hall, and we are the Healthcare Group. So first, before we get started talking about Care Alliance, I would like to give you some goals that we wanted to fulfill throughout the week for our group and for our project itself. Our team goals were identifying gaps in service and develop recommendations, develop connections with everyone on the team, learn to analyze the data collected by the team, learn how to collaborate and appreciate group work, appreciate the diversity of opinions, and collaborate to create a strong solution. And lastly, by the end of the week, have a lifelong takeaway. And I feel that we did a good job at fulfilling those goals. Now, you may be wondering, who is Care Alliance? Well, Care Alliance is a company that helps the underserved population. They started in a church basement just 35 years ago, and the St. Clair location was the first location to be created. With evolving, Care Alliance has added transportation that utilizes services such as Lyft and Uber. This helps patients get to and from their appointments. Also with that, they have events that are positive change groups that can help patients with things such as HIV and AIDS, and this can help patients be uplifted in that time. And the next slide. This is simply just the locations that Care Alliance provides. They have one on St. Clair Avenue, as I mentioned, Central Avenue, Woodland Avenue, and on the west side. These are all accessible for Cleveland citizens. Next, this slide is about what Care Alliance provides. They have different branches such as medical, pharmacy, behavioral health, dental, and supportive services. And I'm going to give a couple examples of each. So in medical, they utilize patient-centered medical care. So this can be things such as a yearly checkup, a monthly checkup, things of that nature. Pharmacy is easy and convenient for patients to access, and they can access their meds at a low cost. Behavioral health can be things such as substance abuse, psychiatry, and mental health counseling. Dental can be things such as x-rays, cleanings, and providing patients with dentures if needed. And lastly, supportive services can be things such as transportation, as I mentioned before, and they have a new opportunity where patients can be read to, I think as early as 6 months old. And they also help patients apply for medical benefits. I am now going to pass it over to my group mate, Brianna Smith.
Gotta adjust this a little bit.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoying the presentations we are giving to you. I will be presenting to you our study and the things we collected throughout the week, like data. So I will just start off what we did on Monday. On Monday, we created questions to learn what Carolinas wanted from this project and who they were. Also, we met up with the executive leadership at Carolinas. They explained their roles, their positions, and within the agencies. They also gave us a tour around, and by the way, it is beautiful. It's amazing. They also explained their services to us. On Tuesday, we conducted 2 focus groups and identified Carolina's strengths were they open to the public and gives low income to health care for 35 years. They make a connection with their patients. Also, they launched mobile clinic outreach team that goes out into the population and treats those patients. Also, again, my friend, she said that they, give transportation, which is really amazing for those who don't have that. The 2 groups that we had seen, for group 1, we noticed that they like to focus on technology as an opportunity and volunteer and also health experience. And group 2, they wanted the same thing as technology and new fresh ideas and also patient experience, which is like hands-on. And for both, we noticed that they want to do, more promotion, appointment scheduling, and provide service to everyone. On Wednesday, we surveyed Metro students, Central, and St. Clair facilities, and Bishop Cosgrove Center, and went to Norma Hurst Women's Center. And by the way, all this data is on our report. We asked certain questions like, when they visit their doctor, who do they go to most often? Or we asked them, what is their health currently like? I also noticed that some of the data that we collected, I had went to Bishop Cosgrove, who is not like partnered with Carolines. I didn't get, the best positive feedback, and that's okay. But they seem to have more of a need help with like health care around there. Caroline's patients, on the other hand, they love their service. They love what the people are giving to them. They love everything about it. So that's amazing. People who are not Caroline's patients seem to not understand or know how great Caroline's is. On Thursday, we weighed out similarities and differences between the places we visited and all the data we collected throughout the week. And now I will turn it over to my teammate, Tashana.
My name is Tashana, and I will be explaining why we need more health care facilities in Cleveland. We need more health centers in Cleveland because we have a lot of people who deal with substance abuse like opioid crisis, people with chronic diseases like cancer and diabetes, and we have a lot of complex people with behavioral and medical issues. On slide 1, it's a graph from the Center for Community Solution that shows the poverty rates in the counties and the cities within Ohio. As you can see, Cleveland has the biggest poverty rate, which is 35.0%, compared to other cities like Columbus, which is 21.3%. All 6 neighborhoods that is listed is neighborhoods that have the most people in poverty and has the most uninsured people. The graph that's on the side, all the red dots in the graph represents all the federally qualified health centers that we have. That is very similar to Carolina. And they are similar because they all serve low-income people and homeless people. And now I will pass it over to Chanel.
Thank you, Tashana. Hi, I'm Chanel. Good morning. Good morning. So I'll be focusing on recommendations for Care Alliance. After meeting with and talking to the focus groups, as well as surveying over 100 people, our group has came up with the 3 following recommendations. Expand hours, increase clinical and internships, and applications. My suggestions for the expanded hours, we as a team suggest to Care Alliance that it would be a good idea to expand on evening hours as well as weekend hours. For clinicals and internships, a partnership between Tri-C and Care Alliance to increase the number of clinicals and internship experiences. The benefits for this partnership will help them gain hands-on experience, and for Care Alliance, it will give them access to potential employees. We as a team suggest our Human Services program here at Tri-C, which will partner up with Care Alliance's Behavioral Health Department, as well as the Pharmacy Technology program here at Tri-C, and they will, of course, pair up with Care Alliance Pharmacy at central locations. For a future recommendation, we suggest our Optical Technology program, which will be a good fit for Care Alliance's eye doctors department. As we talked to the focus group, this was one of the things that we all agreed that would be a good addition to Care Alliance, being that there's a large population of patients with diabetes. Last but not least, an application which would be a good fit to help make appointments and schedule reminders for the patients that came in to want assistance from Care Alliance. And that will also take a little pressure off the call center, which is at Care Alliance, and they do a good job with receiving so many calls from patients as far as cancel appointments and them just wanting to make an appointment for that day. Also with the app, it will help members of the community sign up to volunteer, which will be a big help, and as well as give access to anyone who wants to make donations to Care Alliance. Thank you. I'll be passing it over to Lenny.
Furthermore, we did have fun and develop friendships with everyone. We also took the time out the week on Thursday to attend the math mashup. The math mashup is a college math party. And then I would like to shout out a few of my teammates that was also on the team with us. Kingsley, Abba, Seti, and Susanna. At this time, we will take any questions or comments.
I have a microphone if you could use that. Thank you so much.
I just want to say that I get my dental at the Care Alliance on 25th, and you guys really hit the nail on the head with a lot of things, like the call center. Like they do an awesome job, but I can tell that like having to call in and cancel is like kind of complicated. Like everything that you mentioned really does speak to my experience, and I don't know, I thought that was a really great report and research, and I feel represented as like a client of Care Alliance, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Elise Sawyers. I'm the president and CEO for Care Alliance Health Center. I probably should. So I don't turn my back to some of you. It was great having the collaboration with Tri-C, Cuyahoga County Community College, and Care Alliance to really get some additional insight with respect to things that we're working on. So the students were so right. These are all some opportunities in our strategic plan that we're working towards in terms of gaps. I noticed I saw fundraising or donations. We hope that you'll come back and help us to raise the dollars we need to get some of the things we need done. But also great to hear a patient's voice. And so we've got 4 different locations, one in Woodland. We're strategically located where we get funding to support people living in and around public housing. And if you notice where our central location is, very close to this campus. We're like smack in the middle of public housing. So we do have some challenges. I'm 2 years on the job. My team is also very new from the executive standpoint. We've got a lot that we're working through. We are on a great journey. We've partnered with Tri-C Community College on many initiatives, not only to have research done and to give students exposure, but to eventually build our pipeline of workforce. So I appreciate the comments, the recommendations, the gaps that you found, and just being very objective with some of your findings and your sharing. I want to welcome you back to Caroline's. Let's see if we can, I think there was some business major, clinical major, if I remember nursing. So we could use you in all aspects of the industry, from administration through clinical. So we welcome you as students to do your rotations and to do future research with us. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Carolinians, for partnering up with us. Now I would like to invite Ms. Molly and the rest of the team to the stage.
So good morning, everybody. And can you believe that these students were named to their team at 10 a.m. last Monday? So we want to tell all of the CLE3 participants how very proud we are of you. We know everybody has done a lot of work. So I also want to bring my co-lead up with me. And without her, this project wouldn't have gotten done. So we were right there together every step of the way. I'd also like to say thank you to Ms. Conte Bentley, who kept everything running smoothly. And I really want to say thank you to this whole team, because without you, this week would have been rough. So Kingsley O'Leary is our intern, and so he's been with us for longer than the week, because he helped us put it together. So I think that's all my thank yous. Is that all? Did I get everybody? All right. So, oh no, I didn't. Our Mandel students walked in thinking they were going to be students and ended up being TAs. So now our 2 Mandel students are Abba Paintsel. Did I get it right? Yes. And Seti, oh, I'm going to mess this up. Rustimaj. So give it up for our Mandel students. And our incoming freshmen, I wanted to thank Carolines. You did not see these students as incoming freshmen. You saw them as scholars. And because of that, we designed a very, very ambitious project. And because of that, they reached for the stars, and I think you can agree they did a really nice job with their presentation. So, Brianna Smith, give it up for our math person, or our business person, Brianna. Chanel Williams. Susanna Ramadani. Deshae Hall. Lily Williams. And not last but not least, Tashana not Deshae Williams.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I can tell you that I'm really actually relieved that we went second, because I would not want to follow the creative arts team led by Dr. Cox and Miriam. So, because they are going to be a tough act to follow. So sorry, business group. Dr. Cox?
Hi, everyone. And to the business team, no pressure. No pressure. So, good morning again. We are the Creative Arts team. My name is CL Brady, and before we begin, we're going to introduce our little presentation, or our mural. And also special thanks to Miss Merriman, Miss Mackenzie Merriman, for all her help and guidance last week. So yes, this is our visual presentation, and it's kind of like a metaphor for our journey last week, walking through the district and exploring all the murals and art possibilities out there. So yes, let's get started. Here's my teammate, Veronica Jones.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to first start off with a quote from my teammate. Arts connects us all. We are all trying to find a connection. Next, I want to discuss our goal. The goal of our study, the goal of the study was to survey residents, workers, and tourists in the Detroit Shoreway District area. We visit various arts institutions such as Happy Dog, Capitol Theater, 78th Street, and Cleveland Theater. We learn how to connect with residents, with arts, and identify barriers and access.
So I'll be walking through the methodology, or kind of what we did the last week and how we set our project up. So throughout the week, we have been investigating how the arts can bridge cultural, social, and economic gaps in the Gordon Square Arts District. Before we met with Ms. Merriman, we gathered background information to discuss the general topic of our research, gentrification. Learning the etymology of the word was really good to become familiar with the process of how capital investments can impact surrounding neighborhoods. Specifically, the arts can promote inclusivity and connect a variety of individuals. So we wanted to seek artistic strategies that may minimize any potential divisions from gentrification. So our meeting with the Gordon Square interim director, Ms. Merriman, gave us an understanding of our tasks for the week. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Ms. Merriman. Our objective was to observe spaces and experience in the Gordon Square Arts District that either support or hinder the community. So then we went to goal setting and conducting research. So drawing up the goals helped us stay oriented around the question, how can the community be brought together through the arts? To answer this question, we created and distributed surveys to the residents, visitors, and workers of the community, like Veronica said. The results of the survey showed the demographics, our interest, and suggestions that the people had for the community. We also interviewed the stakeholders in the Gordon Square Arts District, like Mr. Sean Watterson, owner of Happy Dog, Mr. Raymond Bobkin, the director of the Cleveland Public Theater, Ms. Noni Thomas, coordinator of the Dance Mastery Program at Michael's Own, and also Mr. Dan Bush, the owner of West 78th Street Studios. From these interviews, we saw how they engage with the community and want to invest in the arts. So then we synthesized all of our information from surveys and stakeholders. It allowed us to get us a clear picture of the resources in the community. So, in conclusion, all of the steps were necessary to see what it's like for a person coming into the Gordon Square Arts District. The process was very hands-on and immersive, which led us to see that many of the current investments have and are continuing to benefit the community. Through the stakeholders and community members' responses, we were able to fully envision how the arts can provide safe spaces and help reduce further divisions. So the survey, as we stated, we collected over 60 surveys in the Gordon Square Arts District, and some of the art questions were as followed. Do you feel connected to the arts options in Gordon Square and Detroit Shore area? Do you like seeing art in public spaces? What types of art experiences do you like? And what barriers might prevent you from attending these arts events? So now I'll introduce Jacob.
So we looked into the question, what prevents people from engaging in art? What we kind of came up with was that social barriers, first of all, I want to define social barriers. Social barriers include factors that may prevent people from going to art events. We took a couple surveys of people and we got a common answer of CBT holding plays that are 50-50 in two separate languages or fully in one language. And that was just a source of uncomfortability for some people. And then the Gordon Square Art District has just many cultures represented in that area, so we felt that through multicultural events, it would connect the cultural communities in that area. Another barrier that impacts artists is mental health. Many artists do not have health insurance, and the lack of treatment options for these artists can affect the quality put on stage and the ability for these artists to perform. The untreated illness can take away from the art form itself and not allow them to be fully in tune with their artistic expression. There's also physical barriers. Being such an old district, many of the buildings in the Gordon Square Art District had non-accessibility features at one point in the building. Most of these buildings are older and tend to lack the accessibility features to accommodate the differently abled. Some of the other most common participation barriers were work, time management, family obligations, money, and awareness. Most of the time when they found out about these events in the district, it was through friends. We visited a lot of places over the week. All were really cool and unique in their own different ways. Like many public murals, Happy Dog, the Capitol Theater, Cleveland Public Theater, and 78th Street Studios, and many other local businesses like Super Electric Pin Bar Parlor. If you've never been there, you should totally check it out. Brew Nuts, Ninja City, and many others. We decided to focus on Happy Dog, mostly because the owner of Happy Dog, Sean Watterson, opened Happy Dog to make sure musicians were respected and paid. In addition, Mr. Watterson also provides employees with adequate time off to tour and remains knowledgeable upon mental health within the workplace. Mr. Watterson intends to use Happy Dog as what he describes as a community living room where everyone can feel comfortable, respected, and adequate enough to come up and just speak powerful conversations within the community. He prides himself on molding his restaurant/art space of community feedback and looks to make Happy Dog a welcoming and fun environment for all who enter. What brings people to Happy Dog, I feel, is a lot of different types of events. In this picture, you see Elizabeth, a Suzuki violinist that played at Happy Dog last Tuesday. It just brings in students and pairs as well as members of the Cleveland Orchestra as well as bands and jazz groups, and it just helps generate foot traffic to the Happy Dog. Just being a live music venue, Happy Dog has troubles working under such low profit margins. Mr. Watterson had kind of pointed out that that's true for a lot of live music venues. And they just try to, it really inhibits their core goal of being fair to the musicians and paying them correctly. Like many of the buildings in Gordon Square, Happy Dog also faces issues with their building deteriorating and not being accessible to all patrons. Happy Dog works as a for-profit business, so they are taxed on everyone who buys a ticket to the show, and it just adds to the problem of a low profit margin. Next up, I want to introduce Ayla.
Good morning. I will be introducing our adventure to Michael J. Zone Rec Center, where we met with Nani Thomas, the coordinator of Tri-C Dance Mastery Program. She describes the intensive dance training and performance opportunity to 20 students from the ages of 6 to 15 throughout the year. Some barriers the rec center uses encounters include transportation, financial, and getting rec center information to the community. Now Elijah.
At Cleveland Public Theater, we met the executive artist director, Raymond Bobgan, to have an in-depth discussion about CPT and how it impacts the people in the community. The main goal of CPT is to give people a broader perspective on life, one that only be learned through art or theater. CPT gives a diverse set of patrons due to the various cultural art events held at the theater. CPT holds many workshops and events for underdeveloped youth, providing them with memorable experiences that last a lifetime. Patrons respond best to mail, but also get an audience from their website or word of mouth, meaning friends or anybody that knows Clean Public Theater as well. And doing this research project, I realized that art is a universal and has a beautiful effect among human beings, no matter what genre. Also, it has given me insight into the art district of Gordon Square. As a former member of STEP program for the youth during the summer for CPT, in the enrichment program, I've learned a lot from Mr. Bobkin. His goal is to raise consciousness, cultivate compassion, and promote empathy. He also wants us to have a broader awareness of the world around us. At 78 Studios, next slide. At 78 Studios, we had an opportunity to meet with the owner, Dan Bush. He was able to give us insight into his fine arts complex. Inside are 25 to 30 different independent galleries and artists, spaces as well as radio station, theater, art conversation studio, and the offices of the Gordon Square Arts District on the third Friday of each month. The West 78th Street Studios connects the community through the arts by opening up their doors from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the live music and the art walk that frequently draws between 1,500 to 2,000 visitors. Surveying the local shops for honest opinions of the area allowed us to learn more about the Gordon Arts District, from business owners and even the employees that work there. We had the opportunity to visit survey businesses like Super Electric, Pinball Parlor, Daily Press Juicer, Brew Nuts, Ninja City, Capitol Theater, Jesse Bing, and more. We were then able to go into the interviews and conversations about the community and collect opinions on the barriers that prevent people from coming into their shops or the district. And what heard from the businesses owners and patrons alike was the biggest barrier was parking and time, and also money, of course, and other family issues as far as like watching kids. And that is all.
All right, throughout this experience, it all started when we met up at the Gypsy Bean. That was our home base, and we decided to print off some paper surveys and interview people within the area. As you can see from the chart right here, a good majority of the people we surveyed were very connected with the art programs and events that went on in the area. Most of the people who took the survey were either residents who lived in this area, they worked here, or they were just visiting. As you look at this chart, you can tell that lots of people like seeing, art in public spaces. If you can go downtown and see some of the places we've been, they have really nice pictures, murals on the walls, and many different sculptures. Next one. Sorry if I'm messing up here. I have the giggles here. I'm trying my best, trying to hold it in. So, all right. when people would come and participate in these events, not many people would, partake into it all the time, as you can see. So most people, they'll go once a month due to how busy everyone can be. As you look at the ages, you can obviously tell that most of the age ranges are from 18 to 34 and 35 to 54. And as you can tell, the blue one, which is under 18, is the lowest. I mean, think about it. Now people under 18 these days do not want to go around the guard. They want to play video games all day. I'm telling you. All right. Out of all the people that we surveyed, most of them were female. I'm not surprised by this, actually. I mean, females are pretty much dominating, our nation now, so come on. This is not surprising to me. All right. Do I have to answer this one? I feel very uncomfortable answering this one. Can we just skip this one? Thank you. All right. Lastly, art comes in many different forms, comes in movies, spoken art, poetry, music. Sorry here, I just can't. All right. But anyway, as you can see, when people really love to go see movies and concerts, so if you don't know that these are many different types of arts, you know now. So, okay. All right. Lastly, when people find out about these different events, they'll find out either through email, radio, Facebook, Instagram, all that. Mostly they would get them from close friends and family members. Okay. All right, next we're going to go back to Veronica for our recommendations.
We recommended that the Gordon Square Arts District develop a partnership with the Waltz branch of Cleveland Public Library, add more educational programming for youth. Finally, we recommend the Gordon Square Arts District offer more family-friendly events. Next up, Nigel.
All right. Throughout this program, we've met many people. We've seen many different great businesses who are very concerned about our community and just want to bring in young blood and help make them into people they are today, help them find their passion and build their characters. Throughout this program, we have learned a lot about the impact art has on the community. Each place we visited and the people we met had a lot to offer for the community, helping young kids and teens find their passion and set their goals. We've had plenty of fun during this program. Observing these events and industries has deepened our love of art. This experience will forever hold a place in our minds and our hearts. Thank you. All right. Next, I would like to call up the people who helped make this happen. So I like to call up Dr. Cox, Miss Miriam Bennett, and Miss Janet Davis. I would always like to say thank you to my wonderful team who pretty much gave me the best experience of my life. So a hand for everyone here.
I also want to give a shout out to Tevin and Gabby for that wonderful artwork that they made. They spent hours and hours and hours on that, and it is a map of the Gordon Square Arts District with all the great highlights there. So we're going to have it out here, so please check it out. This has been an amazing week, and we have learned so much about the people in the Arts District. What impressed me most, I think, was their fearlessness with going out and getting surveys from the community. They would walk up to anybody. They would go into businesses. They would walk up to strangers. There was no fear. It was completely gone. And they collected over 65 surveys from all these folks. And that's what really gave this presentation a lot of depth. And from that, they developed their recommendations. Of course, we couldn't have done this without Miriam and Jeanette. So I'm going to turn it over to Jeanette to hand out the certificates.
Good morning, everyone. We had an awesome time doing this process. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of walking and talking and seeing a lot of different points of view dealing with art. So I have a new appreciation for Cleveland, Ohio, because we are the best, despite everything else. I know we have the sports, but our art scene is phenomenal. I would like to say that I loved working with everyone on the team. We had 2 Mandel students who were awesome, and we had 6 wonderful freshman students coming in. So without further ado, I am going to give out the certificates. Jacob Barr, one of our Mandel scholars. Tevin Booker. He created the art, him and our other student who I'll mention in a second. C.L. Brady, Mandel Scholar. Elijah DeBerry. He was a student at CPT at one point. Nigel Harper, one of our freshman students. Veronica Jones, one of the shy ones in the bunch who was afraid to come up and speak, and she did an excellent job. Gabrielle Murray, she helped create our piece of work of art. Brandy Wilson, she was very passionate about the students, and when we met with Noni, who was one of our graduates and who was also a Mandel Scholar, am I correct? That's right. All right, thank you so much. And I really enjoyed working with Paul and Muriel as well. Thank you. Next up, last but not least, the business group. Woohoo!
Good morning, fellow students, esteemed faculty, and honored guests. My name is Melissa Iani. It's been an incredible opportunity being a part of the sophomore class of CLE3. Dr. Scope tasked us with creating a business model that would allow CLE3 to expand its outreach to a broader client base. At first, I was a little skeptical of the task at hand. I'm a political science major. I don't know much about business, but after Mrs. Lanier made us do a personality test icebreaker, I realized just how lucky I was to be working with such a diverse, amazing, talented group of people. So our team is going to present to you the services. It's an overview of the CLE3 program. So we're going to talk about the services we provide, the process it covers, the benefits, and a video on a website that we created. So here's CJ to talk about the video.
Hello, everybody. The video that you're about to see is an overview of what exactly CLE3 is.
CLE3 is a collaboration of students and faculty who come together where students can learn how to run a business. They learn the soft skills of how to manage themselves, how to better themselves, so that they can go on and become successful. What is CLE3?
CLE3 is a program offered at Tri-C to students so they can gain work experience and establish relationships with businesses.
How is CLE3 going to help businesses?
So at Tri-C, there is a plethora of untapped resources that would enhance businesses' brands. You have the newest information and state-of-the-art technology being utilized by eager Clevelandites to enhance your product.
I believe CLE3 will help our businesses by being able to help small businesses compete with the big businesses so they're able to thrive.
And how can CLE3 help the community?
CLE3 can help community through altruism, and also how the students helping them and can make whatever activities they're doing can help make community a better place through how they attack a situation and how they better their environment.
It'll help the community, basically a little bit similar to the business, because they're going to be bringing them in, so they basically networking with people in the community to see if they need any help. 1, 2, 3.
Now I will be bringing up Dante and Sean to talk about the services.
I'm Dante. I'm one of the web developers that helped create the website, and I'm be talking to you about two of the three services we offer at CLE3. The first one up is market research. 99% of Cleveland's economy consists of small businesses, and most of these businesses report that they don't have the time nor the resources to conduct market research. If these businesses can outsource these tasks, they could in turn receive an in-depth analytical report of potential customers and what products and services they should market to them. Next up is the social media audit. Over a billion users are on social media, and of that user base is a diverse age group, ranging from the potential employees on LinkedIn to the young adults on Twitter and Instagram, like ourselves, and to the older people on Facebook. I'm happy we all can agree on that.
Got me on that one.
The only constant in this world is change. You have to constantly update, upgrade, and reinvent yourself in order to stay relevant. And the one place where the world is always changing is on social media.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you all awake. So I'll be speaking about the third and last service, which is community engagement, which is, if you want a more in-depth explanation, it'll be on our website, yes. So I was sitting and I was listening to all these exponentially excellent presentations. By the way, that's an alliteration. And I realized that it's a very, they're excellent examples because reason being, we are all born and raised in this community. Let that sink in. We know our community, and most importantly, we connect and we want to help the community. And just for a little food for thought, if we, just imagine, if we as CLE3, collectively as a whole, if we bring businesses under our wing, not only can we make Tri-C a better place to live in, but also Cleveland and its businesses a more sustainable environment. Thank you. And I'll be introducing Natalie with the process.
Good morning. My name is Natalie Cass, and I'm sure everyone's wondering the million-dollar question. How's this process going to work? Well, it's quite simple, actually. In this new and exciting organization, the existing Thrive will be ran by students and faculty advisors. For this organization, we will be utilizing existing resources so we won't have to go out and make new business plans. We have a social media market expert on our team, Dr. Kelly Emrich. We also have Professor Baida, who is the lead of the entrepreneurship program, and our lovely Miss Lanier, who provided guidance and support the whole week. Once I came to this group, I was a little shocked because I'm not a business major. I am a nursing major. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to belong in this group. But it turned out to be quite an amazing experience, and I'm very thankful that I got to learn something new. But our project will offer amazing experiences between students and businesses. Students will prove to be an invaluable resource to business, and business owners will enrich the students as mentors and role models. So now I would like to do a little demonstration for you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa from Garden Grove Consulting. How are you today?
Hi, I'm Natalie Cass with Tri-C.
Great. So I'm starting to start a consulting business here. It's bare bones. I don't have that many resources. I'm looking to get some new people. Is there something you can help me with that?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, I have a website that you can visit. If you go to our contact page, you can fill out a business application expressing your certain goals and outcomes for your business.
Oh, great. That's really convenient. What's the cost? What are we
Well,
talking?
well, we have a pricing overview button on our website, and our social media audits will start at $300, and those will occur during fall and spring semester. Then we have our market research program, which starts at $200, but can go all the way up to $1,000, and that is up to 14 weeks, also during the fall and spring semester. And last but not least, we have our community enrichment program in the summer, and that starts at $2,000. That's a 4-week program.
All right. Well, I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable. How soon can we get something rolling?
Well, as soon as we receive your application, we will set up a 60-minute in-house consultation with a student and our faculty advisor.
Oh, well, you know what? That sounds great. We are definitely going to be in touch.
Thank you.
So
And
much.
also, on our website, we have a fact button. So if there's any questions that we did not cover, be free to go ahead and check out that tab on our website.
You know what? I definitely will. Thank you so much,
Thank
Natalie.
you so much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you. And now I would like to introduce Leanne to discuss the benefits of our project.
Good morning. Okay, so I will be giving y'all a brief summary of the benefits. Like, I won't go too in depth, but if you want to look at them, they're on the screen. Also, I would like to point out something while I'm going over it. We have a great benefit that we can use that was from last year's CLE3 program from the CEO of CMHA. So we know that many small businesses are struggling with keeping up with other projects, and we know that many of them are struggling with finding new resources. So by partnering with us, we can provide y'all with most of those resources, but that not only the partners will benefit from, but also the school, the community, and the students as well. So I want to ask this question for all the students. So how many of y'all like listening to boring lectures? I don't. You sure? All right, so how many of y'all liked what y'all did last week? I enjoyed it. Oh. We have trained faculty and staff that love to work with businesses, but not only do the faculty do, we also have students who like to participate in this programs as well to work directly with businesses instead of just sitting in a classroom listening to somebody lecture to them. We also had the pleasure of working with a variety of staff and faculty who gave their perspectives on the project we worked on, as well as helped us along with the website and gave us their insights on it. So when we first started on Monday, I didn't think that we were actually going to be working with clients or working with any type of business. I just thought we was going to be sitting in one room, listening to somebody talk to us all day. But over the week, it definitely changed my perspective, and I just wanted to say that I have a very interest in continuing the program with this program as well. And now I would like to bring back up Melissa to give y'all a few more words.
Thank you, Leanne. So, in closing, as you all can see from the wonderful presentations today, CLE3 Institute is a very much sustainable model. All we need is the businesses to foster and initiate continued growth for generations to come. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for any questions. Okay.
Not only the experts on our team, but all of you out here would help make this program sustainable. Thank you.
All right, so if there's no questions, then I'd like to invite Professor Baida up onto the stage.
The faculty and Linda Lanier, please come up. So, as has been mentioned, this was really an amazing week, and I just want to tell you all, personally, how proud I am of each and every one of you. It was a sincere pleasure to work with you, and that's what business is all about. It's all about partnering and relationships, and let's keep up for all of us. Let's keep up what we started, this past week. Think about it. 1 week today, we all didn't even know each other. Where we've come in that 1 week is truly amazing. So in giving out the certificates, I'd like to have my esteemed faculty here help me with this. And first of all, for our Linda Lanier, I think it's only applicable that you give out the first 2 certificates. And if there's anything you'd like to say.
I love these guys, and they know I love them. They honestly did build this website. We have a coder and a website builder, and they did it. And I just encouraged to CJ English. He did that video by himself, and Dante Hampton.
And to my coworker, Professor Kelly Emmerich, who was, it's so comforting to me when I knew she was going to be working with me on this. Kelly, if you'd like to say a few words and give out a few more certificates.
It was just a pleasure working with you all, and I told them when I first met them, they told us their name and major, and then by the end of the week when they were introducing themselves, they said their name and major, and they're like, and maybe business too. So I told them I hope so, and I hope they stay in touch. So it was just phenomenal working with each and one of you very much. So Natalie Cast.
And Melissa Yanni. And for the last 2, we have Shelton Henry, who didn't speak with passion. And a young lady who we couldn't get to talk at the beginning, but you saw what she can do, Leanne Howard. So, thank you once again, and I'm not sure if anybody, I'm sure we have somebody to give some closing thoughts.
At this time, do we have anyone else who would like to ask any questions or make any comments to any of the groups? No? Oh.
Good morning. I'd just like to comment on the fantastic job all of the groups did. It was very impressive. This was my first time being able to witness the work of CLE3, and it is absolutely amazing. So congratulations on all of your work and everyone who helped out with the program. Just a question for anyone in any of the groups. Has your experience over the last week influenced your career goals or what you like to do as far as your major or your future work at Tri-C?
Yes, this program really spoke out to me and gave me a lot of encouragement. I actually will be majoring in business, so this just gave me a bigger step and push to do better or wanting it more. Because sometimes you can feel like, oh, I don't know if I'm sure about this, but being a part of something so big and different people, it pushes you to want to do what you dream of doing your whole life. So, yes.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys remember my face. I did speak just now. So business was, is a very picture-perfect spot for me because, fun fact, I am a published author. I just published my novel. It's called War Harmony. It's on Amazon. So, yep, inspiring businessman. So, doing this CLE3 was a very influential thing for me because it can get my feet wet in the business industry, and it could, I could put all this, everything I've learned this week into my book and trying to like sell myself, promote my book, and I it's like a dream. It's just like a dream I don't want to wake up from. So yeah, I don't want to forget this moment. I'm happy. Thank you for everything you've done for us, and I just hope I can definitely continue this. You can bring this forward in my business life. Thank you.
Yeah. As a Mandel scholar, CLE3 has been an amazing opportunity to further imbibe and actually work on the values the Mandel Scholars Academy had helped me develop all through this while. Being in an history class through the Mandel Academy and working with the history group helped me further appreciate my community, knowing where it started from, and it gives a better perspective of where the community should be headed. And working with this team and this amazing professors, it's been an awesome week, and I can't trade this experience for anything. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. So when I first started this program, I was really iffy about signing up for it. I kind of just signed up for it because I was in the enrollment office. Why not? It was a piece of paper. When I first came in, I actually sat at a table by myself. I'm not an open person. I don't like people. I was just didn't know what I wanted to major in. I didn't know anything coming into Tri-C. Now I have a family, and I have support, and I have my glue, Miss Davis, and now I know what I want to major in. They kind of gave me, like, they just helped me pave my path to my life. So without CLE3, I don't think I would have the mindset I do today. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Jordan. I'm the Dean of the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel Humanities Center and the Mandel Scholars Academy that Christiana mentioned. Thank you. And thanks, seriously, the Mandel Scholars who are here. But I want to follow up what Christiana said, both in terms of the big picture of CLE3, and I'm so encouraged as an employee of the college and as somebody who's still relatively new here. You guys, this is amazing to see the way you're all getting involved so early and the kind of work that you're doing. And I want to underscore what Christiana said. If you're not familiar with the Mandel Scholars Academy, if you haven't already applied and you were a part of CLE3, you need to apply right now. We have a very limited amount of time to still get you in for the fall, and we would love to talk to some of you. So please, please, please grab me afterwards or just go to our website. But would love to get something. This is inspiring and awesome, and thank you all so much.
I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Scope for working with us and giving us this task to be able to see, like go more into depth with business, because I do want to do business as well, but it's going to go along with my major, which I'm in criminal justice, but I want to open my own detective agency.
So just to sort of close this out, I want to acknowledge a few folks who've been really instrumental in making CLE3 possible. First and foremost, of course, our clients. So Elise, if you could stand up, Kurt. Thank you. Thank you so much for trusting us with real problems and real challenges that you wanted to address, because that's what made this meaningful work. I want to acknowledge, of course, the faculty who did an amazing job in making this an incredible experience. And last, certainly not least, Alexandria, Jocelyn, you guys were the glue that held everything together. So thank you so much. And of course the students who really did the work. You guys were amazing. You guys were absolutely amazing. So I just have two questions for you. Was this worth it? Should we do it again? All right, you said it. You said it. Now we have to do it. All right? All right, so students and the faculty, if you could please gather by the stage. We want to make sure that we document this and take pictures of all of you. Thank you so much again for being here.